What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we have a number of great topics for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with a big presentation for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Bandai Namco has just announced that they will have a Dragon Ball FighterZ show on August 16th. That's this week, peeps. At 11 a.m. PT, that is 2 p.m. Eastern time, the company has announced. Now, you'll be able to check out the show on Twitch, and I think I might be live streaming it. Now, during the live stream, Bandai Namco will showcase all of its plans for Dragon Ball FighterZ in 2020, including competitions, game updates, and an exclusive trailer. Now, Dragon Ball FighterZ is now available, of course, for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC via Steam, and the Nintendo Switch. So the big thing that I think a lot of people are going to want to know about is what's the next character coming, right? Like they have their little Fighters Pass type of deal that they do, or Dragon Ball Season Pass with new characters. And I'll be honest here, while I love the competitive aspect of the game, watching the amazing players like Back When Left and Played and Go One and Sonic Fox and Hook Gang God, I'm all about that. You know, I don't play it too much myself, but I love watching people play Dragon Ball FighterZ online and competitively. But man, there are a lot of Gokus in this game. You know, there's like too many Gokus. It's like Goku is like the Dragon Ball FighterZ version of like a Fire Emblem character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but the only difference is that Smash Bros. Ultimate has like way more characters, and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super have so many characters that they can pick from, and it seems like Goku seems to be coming up quite a bit. Now, I know there was Broly, I know they've done some other things, but we'll see what they do. The big announcement for me is going to be what the new character is. Like, I'm hoping for like maybe like Pikkon. I think Pikkon's one of those underrated characters out there, so hopefully they get Pikkon in there. I would love to see some more Dragon Ball Super characters out there. I think Dragon Ball Super is obviously an amazing show. It'd be great if they had more of them in there, balancing things out just a bit. Heck, they can go back to Dragon Ball, maybe get some of those characters there. Dragon Ball Z, there's still some more characters they can pull from there as well. So I'm down. I'm down to see what they have here. And like I said, I love the competitive aspect of it. Watching the really great players go at it online and in competitions was really cool. Watching like Evo back when we can still meet up and have competitions and tournaments in person, that was great. And like I said, one of my favorite streamers is Hook Gang God, and he kind of originated as a really good Dragon Ball FighterZ player, you know, so I still watch him play Dragon Ball FighterZ when he does cut it on the stream. So I'm down to see what they have in store for Dragon Ball FighterZ. I can't wait to see what the competitive players do with whatever the announcement is or the new updates and the competitions. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So what do you guys think about this presentation here? And what characters or character do you want to see next for Dragon Ball FighterZ? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, now moving on to the next topic here. Phil Spencer has once again heaped praise on Nintendo, saying something that some people don't want to admit in this industry, especially when it comes to gamers, if it doesn't suit their taste. Very subjective and not objective about certain things. But I've always been steadfast, and I think a lot of people have, in saying that Nintendo has probably the strongest first-party lineup that we've seen year in and year out for pretty much any system. Heck, even with the Wii U, one of their most failed systems, no, actually their most failed main console of all time, that still even had solid games on there, much better than, like, let's say in comparison for like the PS Vita first party games and what Sony did on their failed system. So even when things don't go right, Nintendo still finds a way to put out bangers on each system. Well, save for the Virtual Boy, right? Not much on that. But let's talk about what Phil Spencer had to say here in a recent Animal Crossing themed Twitch show that's been pretty popular. Shout outs to One-Time Games Journal's Gary Whitta. He's the one who kind of runs that, has some cool guests on there. And Phil Spencer just happened to be on there, and he was talking about Nintendo and their first party IP. So here's what he had to say. Quote, "The pure thing about what Nintendo does is they think about games, and they think about their hardware and their platform all as one thing, and build those experiences. And I know the teams there pretty well, and I think it's magical the way they're able to create a complete Nintendo experience on their devices. And this experience I'm looking at right here in my hands on my Switch is Animal Crossing. From the Switch running it, to the game itself, to the way you go to other people's islands. In the entertainment business, you know, most things don't turn out to be huge successes, so there's always has to be some amount of surprise. But Nintendo is just masterful at what they do, and I've said it before, I think they have the strongest first-party pedigree out there and strength. And they're a jewel for us in the games industry and something we should protect. So I think that that's pretty cool that somebody that's like the head of another major corporation, competitor, whatever the case is going to say something like that. And I think that each company, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, all have their strengths and weaknesses. I think that Sony's kind of a hybrid. They do hardware pretty well, right? Sometimes maybe not as good as Microsoft, but they still do hardware pretty well, but then they do first party games better, right? So a little bit of a hybrid between Nintendo and also Microsoft. Microsoft tends to get hardware and services really well, but games not so much. And then Nintendo is kind of really on the games, but the hardware necessarily isn't as great power wise and certain features wise as the other companies. So they each have their big strengths and weaknesses, pros and cons. And it's cool that Phil Spencer would come out and say something like this, but I've said it before and I'll say it again to myself. I still feel that Nintendo does have the strongest first party lineup of games, franchises, pretty much year in, year out, from each system to each system. When you go back and you look at all of their mainline systems, especially their mainline systems, I mean, you can just ring out banger after banger after banger, even on the Wii U, which is why so many Wii U games are coming over to Nintendo Switch on top of the Wii U failing and obviously not selling enough. But also those games were good too. There was also a lot of really good games that people didn't get a chance to play because it was on that system, you know? Or even if you look at stuff like the Nintendo 3DS, right? That had so many great first-party games on there. And if you're looking at the Switch, there's so many great first-party games, new ones, not just Wii U ports, but new games, stuff like Super Mario Odyssey. Obviously, you have stuff like Fire Emblem Three Houses, Astral Chain, Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing. I mean, there's just a number of great games for people to pick up and play, and that's why the system is doing so well. Even if you look at 2020, a year where a lot of Nintendo fans would say, oh, well, there wasn't anything to play, or there's not much, or whatever the case is, Nintendo has released 6 first-party games, with 5 of those selling over 1 million units, even in 2020, believe it or not. So it's just crazy to see how well their first party does, and I think Phil Spencer's absolutely right. We should have all 3 companies. Definitely each company should be protected in their own right in terms of what they do to strike a competitive balance. And I really like what he had to say here. And I think that Microsoft, you know, to their credit, I think that they're trying to do things a bit better with first party. It's going to take some time, right? They bought a bunch of first party studios and everything like that. They obviously had the delay with Halo Infinite that was just recently announced. But I think they're trying to do some stuff in the first party realm too. So we'll see what they got cooking for the Xbox Series X 2, 3, 4 years in. So what are you guys' thoughts when it comes to what Phil Spencer had to say here? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. Yo, we've got a licensed game from an established IP out there, G.I. Joe. For all my old heads out there, G.I. Joe is coming back, but check this out, guys. The game doesn't look like complete garbage. So we've got a brand new G.I. Joe game called G.I. Joe Operation Blackout, and it's coming to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and the Nintendo Switch, and it's due out October 13th. So let's go ahead and get into what this game is about. So Game Mill Entertainment has announced its team-based third-person shooter G.I. Joe Operation Blackout. Now, G.I. Joe Operation Blackout features 12 playable characters across Team Joe and Team Cobra, including Duke, Snake Eyes, Cobra Commander, Destro, Roadblock, and Storm Shadow. An 18-mission campaign playable in single-player or local split-screen cooperative modes, and a variety of player versus player multiplayer modes, including Capture the Flag, Assault, and King of the Hill. The campaign follows an original story that takes you to Cobra headquarters and the USS Flag aircraft carrier. Now, you guys are checking out the trailer here as well. IGN kind of broke this news here with the trailer. Obviously, they worked together with Game Mill to get that. And it's pretty crazy to see G.I. Joe coming back in the video game form. When I was younger, man, G.I. Joe was all the rage. You had the toys, you had the show, you had the cheesy show and everything like that. Voice acting was cheesy as heck and everything. But it was G.I. Joe, man. He was an American soldier, American hero, you know, for the kids out there. So, like, look, I'm down for this. You know what I'm saying? I am down for G.I. Joe. This one looks okay. Now, the game might suck, right? It might end up sucking, but most of the time these licensed games come out and they look horrible, right? Like, they just don't look very good. It looks very mobile game-ish and all of that, but this game actually looks like they put some time into the graphics and put some time into the combat and modes and everything. So we'll see if it actually ends up being good. But for right now, I'm actually positive on G.I. Joe Operation Blackout coming this year. So I like how they did it too. They didn't announce it like 2 years ago or something stupid, or like a year ago for this type of licensed game. That's obviously not going to be like super AAA or anything. They said, okay, here's the announcement trailer, work with IGN, get a trailer out there, get the modes and the everything like that, and then say, hey, it's coming out in a few months. That's the way that you do it. We don't need announcements 2, 3, 4 years in advance. So I like the way that they did this announcement. So what are you guys' thoughts on G.I. Joe Operation Blackout, and what are your corniest G.I. Joe lines that you can let me know about in the comment section below? I'd be down to read some of them. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys, we've got Ninjala. This game, I mean, don't forget about it here, guys. Don't forget me on this game here. Ninjala crossing 4 million downloads on the Nintendo Switch. This game is slowly but surely becoming one of the most played free-to-play games on the Nintendo Switch platform. So, free-to-play online action battle game has surpassed a nice 4 million downloads since its June 24th release on the Nintendo Switch, Gung Ho Online Entertainment announced. Now, to celebrate the milestone, all players will receive a free gift of 100 Jala, the in-game currency. Now, of course, Ninjala is not available for all of you guys to go out there and download, and it's a game that I haven't played too much just because I've been playing so much Persona 5 Royal, and also the new game Fall Guys on the PC via Steam. I've been playing that a little bit too with Ms. Click and Dreamcast Guy, and I just streamed like a bonus stream of it recently as well on the latest OJ Live. But still, like, Fall Guys is dope, so I've been playing that a bit. But yeah, man, Ninjala's still a good game. It's an exclusive on the Switch so far. 4 million downloads, so they're definitely doing something right. Just because your game is free to download doesn't mean people are going to rush out there and download it. So that's not bad at all. By the end of the year, they probably should have around maybe 6 to 7 million downloads in terms of things. And of course, when it comes to free to play, you want to have more people download it so you get more eyes on your game, which they hope turns into microtransactions for their game for them to actually make money if you like the game enough. So I think that the business model for this game, I would have liked to see a standard release with a physical copy and everything like that and normal stuff, but they did put in there some stuff that you can do by yourself single player. It does have a compelling multiplayer experience in there as well, and it's all free to play there. So there's enough content in there to justify the download. So I'm all for it. So what do you guys think about Ninjala topping the 4 million mark? And to all my Ninjala players out there, how are you enjoying the competitive balance of the game? What do you want to see them improve in the future? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here, guys. We have a little bit of an interesting type of way that 505 and Remedy, the Control people, are doing this whole next-gen upgrade for current-gen games. I mean, we've seen some developers say, hey, if you buy the PS4 and Xbox One version of this game, you're going to get the PS5 and the Xbox Series X version as a free upgrade and everything. Then we've seen some developers say, no, you have to pay for it, or there's like a one-time voucher, or you can only redeem it for X amount of months. But now we have a little bit of a different situation going on here with Control. So let's go ahead and start off with the news. So Control Ultimate Edition is coming to Steam on August 27th and PS5 and Xbox Series X in late 2020. So that will be this year. Now, Control Ultimate Edition will also launch for additional platforms on the following dates: September 10th for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC via the Epic Games Store, a digital edition. End of 2020 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One physical edition, so they're doing digital before the physical. And then the end of 2020 for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X digital edition. Then early 2021 for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X physical edition. So they're telling you, hey, you know what? We want to make more money on the digital editions of this game. We want you to buy that one because we're making you wait for the physical edition of the game. We're making you wait months or whatever the case is, not giving you a date. So buy the digital so we can make more money off of it, which is just kind of scummy for this type of game, right? This is a super game of the year nominated type of game. Apparently it's an amazing type of experience, and you're making people wait like for the physical version of the game for them to actually own the game on a physical disc, borrow to a friend, whatever the case is, which is just kind of scummy in my opinion. But hey, it is what it is on that. Now, users who purchase the Control Ultimate Edition on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One will be able to upgrade to the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X versions free of charge. This option will not be available for users who purchased the original Control. So all the people who made this Ultimate Edition, possible on this, they're just saying, oh, no, you guys, nothing. Hey, all you digital people that want to buy it now or wait or whatever the case is, you guys get the upgrade. So shout outs to everybody who supported Control in the beginning. Now, Control Ultimate Edition includes the base game, the first expansion, the Foundation, and the second expansion, AWE. That's the Alan Wake content in there. Now, all the content updates since the release of the original game, and includes all of that as well. And of course, you guys can check out the features and everything. Now, I played a number of hours of Control myself, and I do feel that it's a good game. It's a solid game. It's nowhere near as good as the Game Awards and everybody that was voting for some reason tried to make it out to be, because they didn't make it out to be that when the game launched. Then all of a sudden it turned into this amazing experience that was Game of the Year type of quality that gets nominated more than Breath of the Wild and God of War and all these other games that have won Game of the Year and stuff like that. So that was a little bit weird, and there's still some spooky weird stuff going on here when it comes down to it. So I don't know about all this, guys, but here's what I'll do. Just like I did with the original Control, you wait till it's like Black Friday, like 20 bucks or something like that, like 20, 25 bucks. That's what I did. Get your enjoyment out of it, and that's that. It's not a game that you have to sit there and pander to them with this digital edition type of stuff, then physical edition later, then ultimate edition to get this type of edition on. Just wait. Just wait till next year and just pick it up then. There's so many games to play. There's so many amazing games that are cheaper experiences that you can go out there and pick up during all this stuff that's happening. You can just wait on there. I still feel that Control's a solid game, and it's definitely worth playing if you like third-person shooters with a really dramatic type of story. But it's not worth all this nonsense that's going on, I can tell you that right now. So what are you guys' thoughts when it comes to Control and when it comes to everything that we discussed here? I'd love to hear them in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.